Hello and welcome to Washington Week. My name is Devon Page. I'm an analyst of government affairs at ASTHO, and I'm joined by Jeffrey Ekoma and Carolyn McCoy, senior directors of government affairs, who you'll talk to in just 1 minute. Okay, so this year, as you may know, we are conducting a virtual Hill Day due to the current pandemic and the security measures in place at Capitol Hill. We will have some ASTHO members on site for Washington Week, but all the Hill Day meetings will be taking place virtually. We're grateful that you're taking the time out of your very, very busy schedules to join ASTHO's Hill Day, and also to take the time out to watch this video, which is intended to serve as an orientation to help you and your support staff prepare for ASTHO's Hill Day. Carolyn Mullen will give an updated briefing to you during the opening session of Washington Week, so you can hear the latest talking points from ASTHO the day prior to your meeting with your delegation. So, what to expect for Hill Day? To best make use of all your time, we thought we would invite your entire federal congressional delegation, so the members of the House and the Senate from your state, to meet with you all at once. This format better ensures that you can share information more equitably and efficiently across your entire federal delegation. Each state health official will have their own Zoom link provided to them by the government affairs team by Friday, February 18th, along with some supplementary materials and suggested talking points. Your congressional delegation will begin in your personal Zoom meeting room. The virtual Hill Day for our Washington Week will be on Wednesday, February 23rd from 2 to 4 p.m. However, meetings have only been scheduled for 2 to 3 p.m. So if you do have a meeting run over or you want to continue a conversation, any of that, you will be able to do that until 4 p.m. So yeah, feel free to stay longer. Don't feel rushed out of your room. You have it for 2 hours and only you have it for 2 hours. Territorial members, you'll be having separate meetings in the evening to accommodate your time zone differences. In all of your rooms, however, you will see the senators and representatives from your state, members of their accompanying staff, and one ASTHO staff member. ASTHO staff will send you a list in advance of who RSVP'd, so you have an idea going into the meeting. And the ASTHO staff member in your meeting is your ASTHO buddy. Think of them as a silent observer who's there to help you with any technical or logistical questions and provide any support for follow-up requests should you have them. Once you finish your meeting, please close out as you would any Zoom call. And now I'm going to pass the mic over to Jeffrey Ekoma, who's going to give you a review of some critical updates related to the current environment in Washington. Keep in mind that this is recorded on February 9th, and so things might have changed since then. Jeffrey?
Thanks, Devin, and hello, everyone. Congress and the Biden administration have been really busy this past year, passing emergency funding for the COVID response, bipartisan infrastructure funding, in addition to regular confirmation, oversight, and informational hearings. Fiscal year 2022 appropriations are outstanding at this point, and they're likely going to be extended through early March 2022. Concurrently, fiscal 23 work is delayed because of this, and we're also hearing rumors that another round of funding for emergency supplemental funding may be in the works, but we don't have any details on that as we record today. For your meeting, ASTHO recommends using the time for the following. 1, build a relationship with your members of Congress and their staff. It's important to get to know who they are, what are some of the things they're passionate about. 2, it's important to discuss the ongoing COVID-19 response in your state. 3, sharing how you're spending COVID-19 federal funds that have been given as part of emergency supplemental funding. 4, encouraging Congress to approve the annual appropriation bills and provide long-term flexible funding for public health via a public health infrastructure fund. And last but certainly not least, providing responses to any questions they may have during the meeting, as well as providing any follow-up after the meeting. Overall, members of Congress and their staff are excited to hear from their state health officials on all things related to the state's efforts in response to the pandemic and how they can ensure that you have the necessary resources to support public health efforts in your state. Thank you so much, and happy to kick it off to Carolyn McCoy.
So I am going to take the microphone for a minute and just review what ASTHO will be providing you for your meeting as far as resources to leave behind and resources to help you prepare for your meeting. As this is a virtual event, all of your materials will be in electronic format so that you can have them handy in electronic format and you can share them with the members of your federal delegation in electronic format. So you will receive 2 items that you can leave behind and 1 item that we are going to prepare for you that's just for you. So first, we are going to supply you what we lovingly call, and in years past have provided to you, the appropriations book. This is a book that ASTHO compiles each year with a good amount of our affiliates and their requests for funding for the upcoming fiscal year. That this meeting being focused on fiscal year 23. Despite fiscal year 23 being outstanding, we're going to keep looking forward. So we're going to have that book for you in electronic format. I encourage you to take a look at it ahead of time. You'll see ASTHO's requests in there, and you'll see some of our other affiliates, such as the laboratories or the epidemiologists or the state dental directors. So take a quick look at that before you enter your meeting so you know what you have at your fingertips. The other document that we're going to provide you is a letter that we sent recently to Senate Majority Leader Schumer on the negotiations for what could be pieces of what was previously known as the Build Back Better bill. This highlights our 2 highest priorities that we'd like to see Congress get across the finish line in whatever format it may be, but the public health infrastructure funding and a permanent fix to the Medicaid funding for the territories. So you'll get that letter in electronic format as well. Feel free to use that in your meeting. You should also think about what your state priorities are ahead of time. What's the biggest need that you need from Congress to move things forward with your state or territorial public health department? Where are those pain points? What can you bring forward? What can you also share? Like Jeffrey was mentioning, how the emergency funds were spent. So think about both the federal ASTHO response or requests, but also what's important for your state. We're going to provide you also talking points as we get closer so that they can be very relevant to the timing of your meeting. We'll provide you talking points to support each of those 2 documents so that you can review those ahead of time and feel confident in your meeting. Again, this is your meeting, however, so feel free to take it as you wish and guide it in the direction that you feel most comfortable. And as Jeffrey mentioned, state your federal delegation will be really interested in what you have to say and will love hearing from you. So feel confident in that. And one last thing is that ASTHO is happy to follow up with Congress members as needed if this is something you'd want. If there was a request made for more information, we're happy to make that contact or serve as a conduit with that office as need be. So don't worry if there's something that was requested. We could get our fingers on it and share it, or we're happy to also remind you or your staff of the requests so that you can keep that relationship going. So as always, the government affairs staff is here to help you. And we are really excited that you're taking the time to do this. And thank you so much for pushing the ASTHO priorities forward and bringing your voice to Capitol Hill. Happy Washington Week.